Pinocchio. Once upon a time there lived an old clockmaker called Geppetto. Geppetto was happy as long as he could work. But when he rested, he often felt sad. "Ah," he thought, "all my life I have had no child to call mine." One day, instead of feeling miserable, Geppetto carved a puppet from wood. He carved it in the shape of a little boy. He took great trouble to make arms and legs of the puppet that could actually move. Next, he also sewed a smart outfit for it. Geppetto felt as if it is a real boy. "I will name you Pinocchio," Geppetto said. That night dear old Geppetto kept the wooden puppet on the bed. From his window, Geppetto could see a twinkling star. "Bright star, if I could make one wish, it would be for a real boy of my own," he thought out loud. That night, the same star changed into a blue fairy and swooshed right into Geppetto's room. "Little wooden puppet," said the blue fairy, "you will find yourself to be a real boy in the morning. You will be able to walk and talk like a real boy." Tapping the puppet once with her wand, she added, "If one day you can prove that you are brave and true, you may become a real boy." Puppet Pinocchio opened his eyes. The blue fairy had more to say. Suddenly, a smartly dressed, talking cricket appeared. "Meet the cricket," said the blue fairy. "He will always be with you and help you in making wise choices." With those words, swoosh, the blue fairy was gone. Geppetto woke up the next morning and went to take the puppet out of bed. But the bed was empty. "Here I am, father," said Pinocchio from the other side of the room. "What? You can walk and talk?" asked Geppetto in utter surprise. "Yep, I can, and I am your boy Pinocchio." "How can this be?" thought Geppetto in shock. Then he said, "Well, who cares?" and came running to hug the wooden puppet and swept Pinocchio into his arms. "Pinocchio, my son," old Geppetto said with so much love and happiness. "Father, I too want to go to school like the other kids do," one day Pinocchio told Geppetto. "Of course," said Geppetto, but he had no money to buy school books. However, later that day he returned with school books. "Now, you can go to school," he told Pinocchio. "But father, where is your coat?" he asked, looking at Geppetto. "Why do you worry so much?" "Going to school tomorrow is the most important thing," answered Geppetto. "I find the weather very warm. I do not need a coat anyway." Geppetto added, even though it was not the season to feel hot. Geppetto had traded his warm coat to buy school books. But he did not want Pinocchio to know that. Next morning, Pinocchio said goodbye to Geppetto to leave for school. The cricket also rode on his shoulder. They met a fox and a cat. "Where are you going on this fine day?" asked the fox. "I am going to school," said Pinocchio. "What? On such a fine day you are off to get stuck inside a school?" "Come with us to the fair," they said. Putting his arm around Pinocchio's shoulder, the fox explained. "Listen to me. Anything and everything you need to know, you can learn at the fair." "Really?" Pinocchio was surprised. "Take it from me," said the fox. "Pinocchio," said the cricket in a soft voice. "He does not know what he is talking about." The cricket tried to warn Pinocchio. The fox covered the cricket with his hat. What the cricket said from under the hat could not be heard anymore. "Okay," said Pinocchio. He forgot all about going to school and off they went to the fair. At the fair, they first saw a puppet show. "I am also a puppet," said Pinocchio. "I can dance like that, if not better," he shouted in excitement and jumped onto the stage. Pinocchio joined the other puppets in the dance. "Look at that new puppet," someone screamed from the audience. "It has no strings." "What? No strings?" said another. "Amazing!" Everyone was amazed, and they laughed and laughed. They threw coins to the stage. The man who ran the fair saw how people threw coins generously. Well, he said, rubbing his chin. "This puppet is sure to make me rich." Pinocchio was picked up and got thrown into a birdcage. The door was locked. "Hey, get me out! Let me go out!" screamed Pinocchio. But the man was already gone. Only the cricket heard Pinocchio's voice. The cricket kept going in and out of the birdcage, trying to find a way to let Pinocchio out. But he could not unlock the door. "I am stuck!" Pinocchio cried. Poof! All in a flash, the blue fairy appeared. "Can you please help me?" asked Pinocchio. "First, tell me how you ended up inside this cage," said the fairy. He did not want to tell the truth to the blue fairy. What would she think of him if he told all that? "Oh, I was robbed," blurted out Pinocchio. "Really, you were?" said the blue fairy with a frown. Immediately, Pinocchio's nose began to grow. "Yes, by 2 horrible men, actually by 4 men." The nose grew more. "They took my books forcefully. They brought me here and threw me in the cage." His nose grew longer and longer. It grew till Pinocchio could see nothing in front of him except for his long giant nose. "Why is my nose so big?" Pinocchio cried in panic. "Pinocchio," the blue fairy's voice was stern. "You know very well you are not telling the truth." "I guess so," Pinocchio accepted. "I wanted to come to the fair. I came here with a fox and a cat." The nose grew shorter. "I had to sell my books to buy the ticket." "You had to?" the blue fairy questioned. "I mean, I decided to sell my books to buy the ticket," he said the truth. The nose got shorter. "Then someone put me in this cage," he said. By then, the nose had come back to its normal size. "Good job, Pinocchio," said the cricket. "Well done," said the blue fairy. "Now, I will get you out of here," she said. With a wave of her wand, Pinocchio was out of the cage. "Here are your books," she said, and Pinocchio was holding the same new school books in his hands. "But remember," said the blue fairy, "from now on, you are on your own. There won't be anyone to save you. So, make sure you do the right thing the next time." The blue fairy disappeared. Pinocchio was back on the road, on his way to school, when a coach drove near him and stopped. The coachman spoke. "Hey kid, how about a ride?" "No thank you, I am going to school," Pinocchio said. "But you will ride faster with me," the coachman told Pinocchio. But he muttered to himself, "He sure will ride faster with me, but not to where he thinks he is going." "All right," Pinocchio said. "I want to get to school straight away." When Pinocchio sat inside the coach, the coachman said, "Say kid, why would a boy like you go to school?" To learn things, said Pinocchio, and to grow up, I think. So, then we can do what we want. What if I said that even now, right now you can still do what you wanted? Asked the coachman. Right now? Yes, think about it. Skip school, forget your books. This very moment, and how would you like to have as much candy as you can eat? All the candy? Yes, and ice cream too. All that and much more, at Pleasure Island. Pleasure Island, what is that? Asked Pinocchio. Best place in the world for boys like you. Don't listen to him, Pinocchio, shouted the cricket. Why, wait, asked the coachman. This is your lucky day, kid. You met me, and I know exactly where the Pleasure Island is. So, what do you say? Let's go, Pinocchio agreed. Ugh, no, said the cricket, waving his arms in the air. After trotting for some time, the coach stopped. You got a boy with you in that coach, said a dark stranger to the coachman. Yep, said the coachman. He grabbed Pinocchio and pushed him down into the ground. He is all yours. Now I need my money. Pay up. The coachman received money from the dark stranger. Then the coachman drove away. What could all this mean? Wondered Pinocchio. But looking around and seeing what he saw, he no longer cared. The place was full of candy. Tubs of ice cream in any flavor. All you had to do was eat, 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 and play, play, play all day long. There was no work, no homework, no cleaning up to do. There were even cigars and pool tables available. After a few days, Pinocchio saw something. But, where did all the boys go? He asked the cricket. All I see are donkeys, Pinocchio added. There definitely were more boys around, agreed the cricket. Just then, one of Pinocchio's ears popped out like a donkey ear. Then Pinocchio's other ear also popped out like that of a donkey ear. Oh, screamed the cricket. What is happening to you? I don't know, honk. Pinocchio made a weird sound. Pinocchio and the cricket next saw a line of donkeys led onto a truck by a dark stranger. Oh no, gasped the cricket. I get it now. Here, boys get changed into donkeys. Then those donkeys are sold. Pinocchio, hurry up. We have to get you out of here, fast. I hope we are not too late. Yes, let's go, honk, said Pinocchio. His 2 feet had transformed into 4. Run, run, be quick, shouted the cricket. There was only one good thing. With Pinocchio's 4 new legs, he could run fast. He ran at top speed while the cricket flew with him. They ran out and escaped the Pleasure Island. Soon, they reached a dock by the ocean. Pinocchio saw a man by the dock. Sir, have you seen an old man named Geppetto? Honk! Sounds like you are getting a bad cold, said the man. Geppetto, you said, didn't you? I think I met the old man one morning. He said his son left and never returned. He went out on a boat to look for his son. No one has seen him since. Oh no! That is all my fault, honk, said Pinocchio. I must find my father, he said, and jumped off the dock right into the ocean. Close behind, the cricket also jumped. Pinocchio, being made of wood, could float on the water. he shouted, "Father! Father!" as he paddled with his arms. But there was no answer. Just then, he saw something big and fast rushing towards him. In a moment, a giant whale was in front of them, with his mouth open full and wide. In one gulp, it swallowed both Pinocchio and the cricket. Rushing inside with seaweeds and sea water, Pinocchio and the cricket were now inside the whale's belly. "Are you okay?" Pinocchio asked the cricket. "I am fine," answered a voice of an old man. "Wait a second. Can this be true? It is a voice I know all too well." "Father, is that you?" Pinocchio shouted. It actually was Geppetto. "Father, father, it is me," Pinocchio shouted. "My son," said Geppetto. "I thought I was dreaming. Father, I have an idea. We have to escape. Let's make a fire," Pinocchio said, and Geppetto was confused. "This way, we can make the whale sneeze." He gathered driftwood and got the flame going. Waving his hands over the flames, Pinocchio made the rising black smoke clouds go up. Just then, the whale coughed. "Hang on!" Pinocchio shouted, and at the very moment the whale went wham. That was one big sneeze, and Pinocchio, Geppetto, and the cricket flew out of the whale's mouth. After rolling and paddling, they managed to reach the seashore. Pinocchio, the old and frail Geppetto, rose to his feet. Though the cricket was there, he could not see Pinocchio. Then they found Pinocchio, face down, and head in a puddle of seawater. "Pinocchio!" They were too late. Pinocchio, the boy puppet, was no more. Geppetto and the cricket wept over the wooden boy puppet that lay still in the water. There was a sudden flash of light, and there appeared the blue fairy. "Pinocchio," she softly spoke. "You saved your father. You proved that you are both brave and true." She took her wand and tapped the head of the puppet. "As I promised, you would now become a real boy." Pinocchio woke up. He looked at his soft arms and his soft legs in surprise. "Father," he screamed. "Look! I am a real boy." "That you are," cried Geppetto. The blue fairy turned to the cricket. "Come," she said, and in a flash 2 of them were gone. Dear Geppetto and Pinocchio lived together, happily ever after.